got that thing somewhere laying around.
This is a good one. I know it really was so empowering to have this on because it's like I don't need to carry anything. I can go and walk and be free. It was really empowering.
I should find that and see where it ended up. It's also so pretty with it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Great to see the space in use. Have you seen any performances here?
No?
Singing our heart song. This is family. This is unity. This is celebration. This is sacred. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing our heart song. This is family. This is unity. This is celebration. This is sacred. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing our heart song. This is family. This is unity. This is celebration. This is sacred.
have a silver car with New Jersey plates that has to move. Did anyone here?
Is it actually silver?
I was told.
New Jersey.
It might be
I have New
grayish.
Jersey plates, but it's not silver. So, but I'll go
Okay.
move it.
Is it grayish?
It's like a beige-ish.
Okay, sure.
Could be.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
We can paint it.
Did we find our car? We found the person? Yeah. Okay. Well, this is fancy, right? Sometimes we have to move our car. Yeah, I can move my car all the time. Okay. So first of all, just take a moment and look around. This is our family. Bonnie's our family. Thank you, Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie. Love you. Justin and Chelsea, come on in and have a seat. Make room if anybody needs some room. If you can consolidate. There's cushions. Some cushions. There's also a basket of blankets if anybody needs a blanket for warmth. The temperature will drop tonight. While we're in the
Good,
show.
another reason for snuggling.
So first of all, I just want to do a few little testers. One is if you can hear me say, hey, hey. If you can hear me say, hey, 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 hey. Okay, and so tonight's show is the culmination of a 14-week course called Resilience and Resistance Training. And before I get into explaining to you how this evening was birthed, I want to also make a few Muggle announcements, like Rael said, just our regular, everyday human needs. The bathroom, there's not a bathroom here, other than the land or bio breaks. However, if you need to go to a restroom back at the Wellsprings, and raise your hand if you're a guardian tonight. Anybody who's a guardian will have red and white on, or maybe they're just a guardian and they know this land. These friends can guide you to the bathroom if you need and you don't know where it is. So my request would be that if you're a guardian, that you're visible on the edges. Welcome, welcome. Okay, there will be an intermission between the first act and the second act. Both acts are about 45 minutes long or so I'm just giving you a little heads up in the beginning so you can pace yourself and you can know kind of how long and what's coming up. In between, we'll have a very brief intermission. And sometimes when there's a brief intermission, sometimes we lose you. Sometimes you get all the way into your car and you're going all the way home. And we and we don't want to lose you tonight, especially because tonight is a ceremonial performance. And the first act is about what we're releasing. So you'll notice that some of the scenes in the first act are maybe a little more intense, maybe dealing with more intense topics. And so really, that's not a time to leave. I mean, of course, if you have to, bless you, and it's totally wonderful and beautiful. But just know, one of our theme phrases in this class has been, don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle happens. So just know that there might be some intensity to the first scene, but that's why we have this beautiful Mother Nature, that's why we have our guardians. And then the second act is what we're calling in, what we're calling forth. And this is audience participatory, but it's totally optional. Okay, so if you're more comfortable chilling out, sitting back, observing, you are more than welcome to do that. So you might have noticed that some of you have labels on your heads. And some of you made the choice to have a label on your head. And my request is that that we don't tell each other what the label says, but just kind of notice. You know, you might start to notice that you're acting a little differently, or maybe you'll notice that people are treating you a little differently, or up until this moment. And so there'll be an opportunity for you to release that label and actually burn it and release it. But there'll also be an opportunity for you to guess what your label might say. And if you have a label and you don't want to guess, you don't have to. So if you don't want to speak out loud, you don't have to. Everything will be choice. Is there anything else in my cast? Am I forgetting anything? Any questions? Okay. All right.
That was really
I'm sorry. I can't tell you, and I can't read from back here what it says. Is everyone comfortable? Does anybody need a seat that doesn't have one? Okay.
I have another question about the label.
Yeah.
Is that the extent of what you're going to explain about it?
Yeah.
Oh.
For now. For now. At the end, this is at the end of the first act. We'll release whatever label is on our heads, and we'll open up to the abundance of what's to come. Okay. So my request is we have a video and we have photographers. My request is that no one else takes pictures or video tonight, just because it can be really distracting and it can take us out of the actual present moment experience. So unless you are a photographer or a videographer that we asked to come, please refrain from taking pictures or video.
If it's a positive label and you really connect with it, and you're not first.
Everything is choice. You have total choice to do anything you want to do. I have no power over you. Yeah. It's down here. The basket with the blankets is right behind Gabrielle from Avalon. Wave to everybody, Gabrielle. This is Gabrielle. Okay, awesome. Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to step off the stage, and this is Calvin Underwood. And Calvin is starting our show tonight with our first performance. And so, yeah, I think I will say one more thing before we start. This show came from, I had the honor to go to Standing Rock in November. And when I went there, I had the opportunity to work in the massage, the medic yurt in the medic area at Standing Rock. And just in that little tiny experience that I got to have, what I heard from the Lakota elder women was go back to your people and bring what you've learned to your own community. And so when I came back, I immersed myself in what are my gifts, what are my skills. And so as a result, this is the final project of a 14-week class called Resilience and Resistance Training. That's a peaceful warrior training and community building training. So that's what we've been up to. And so we have lots of really beautiful, wonderful experiences to share with you tonight. So thank you for listening, and let's start the show.
The heat is on, they lurk in the night, and I need someone to come and save my life. We're under fire, and it's giving me chills. They're taking aim, and they shoot to kill. The lights were shining in my rear view. If it happened to me, it could happen to you. The air was damp and the ground was wet. My life flashed before my eyes. Could this be the end of me? The heat is on, they lurk in the night, and I need someone to come and save my life. We're under fire, and it's giving me chills. They're taking aim, and they shoot to kill. Stopping and frisking me, scaring and kicking me. Intimidation, instilling fear in me. Facing security, abuse authority. Chasing and killing the so-called minority. Raging the war in me. Am I facing an enemy? We're under fire, and it's giving me chills. They're taking aim, and they shoot to kill. The heat is on, they lurk in the night, yeah. And I need someone to come save my life. We're under fire, and it's giving me chills. They're taking aim, yeah, they shoot to kill, shoot to kill. Shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to kill. We're under fire. Shoot to kill, shoot to kill. We're under fire. Shoot to kill, shoot to kill. We're under fire. Shoot to kill, shoot to kill. Shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to kill.
If you can, be still. There's a they that shoots to kill. There's a way that wants its will, and entire empires expanding for the thrill. But when yes, sire expires and we're standing on the hill, let's climb down from our mountains, looking for common ground. We are bridges to the future, and together we are bound. We are sound. We are speaking, casting spells, or saying prayers. We are creating what we're seeking, needing help with all the layers. Life's games and all its players, or spaceship Earth and all her crew. I must have read 1,000 faces, and here I am with you. If you can, be here. There's a play that needs your skill. There's a day that wants your fill. And tired old mires where souls are fallen ill. But it inspires, heart fires when you say no to the blue pill. Let's go swallow red sunsets. There's enough to go around. Not even sky is the limit. Crawl inside the sacred mound. We are found. We are meeting every other, every moment. Blessed and being thankful for another chance to call you sister, brother, and to walk each other home. I must have picked through all my reasons with a fine-toothed comb to only find the one, and that's love, and that's enough.
could be a disparate.
It's our birthright.
You women. There's some strange things going on over here.
It's in the space of the world we need to leave.
You guys are not priestesses, and you
I'm a
have
medicine woman.
you have no permission to be doing
This is
this.
an absence.
These women are witches.
The woman just lost the child.
Witch!
Please stay out of our
Go
way.
see the judge.
Let's go! Purple Lux and Zoloft talk about taking long walks off short docks. I'm constantly swimming in this sea of severity. Can't these currents just wash me clean? Give me a moment of clarity or a moment to breathe. Why do I always burn myself at the stake? There's too much at stake now. I have to learn to stand proud and rise from these tides that devour my insides. I can't kill myself any longer. I'm stronger. It's time to rise and realize that's it. That's all.
I worked all day on the house. Could you just please pick up your clothes off of the floor? I'm not your servant.
You think I don't care? You think I don't want to be here? I'm at work all day trying to supply for us.
He needs support. He needs attention.
You know, my truck was dead this morning. You left the light on again. Do you even consider things when you act? Like, do you even care?
If your paycheck was
I might
bigger,
get fired.
I could have gotten my car fixed and we wouldn't have had to worry about this.
He needs consideration. She needs patience.
Why did you come home so late? There's someone else, isn't there?
You always think I'm cheating. Maybe I should be cheating. I was picking up more hours so we could have more money. That's what you want, isn't it? That's all you can say.
We're in this together.
I have had it with this fighting.
You've
I'm
had it?
sick of it.
You've
I
had
don't
it?
want to hear you.
I've had
no
it.
more. I've had it. Ah!
We're in this together. There's no need to fight. Listen to your needs. You can make this right.
We are not broken. We're just injured fools. Recovery won't take a day, but I will no longer be cruel. My eyes are open, and I'm finding my voice. I have learned from this journey, and I have made my choice. Purpose is revealing with nurturance and healing. This is the spark that's gonna light up the dark. I will no longer rage inside that cage. Where darkness once ruled, I choose safety, love, and respect as my tools.
You know, I don't want to hurt you. Why are we doing this?
I just want to support you. I love you.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
I love you.
All right, next. Welcome to the Divine Light Institute. How can I heal you today?
Oh, I don't know. I've been feeling sad. Just feeling kind of isolated, like I'm surrounded by people, but nobody cares about how I feel or what's going on in the world.
Oh, no. See, by the law of manifestation, what you're doing is attracting more of these icky feelings by focusing on them and talking about them. But I have a high vibrational crystal. There's Crystal! It's gonna help hold that tone up with you, okay? So just hold this near your heart and chant Om quietly to yourself so you don't disturb those of us who already have a good vibration. How's that feel?
I don't know. I still feel anxious. I still feel I keep hearing these stories about violence, people getting shot, people because of their skin color, because of their religion. I'm kind of angry actually. I'm kind of hurt and angry about I don't know what this is doing.
Yes, okay. But like I said, the more you talk about it, like the worse I feel and everyone else feels about it. So we need to just open up the aura a little bit with some sacred herbs. There's sacred herbs, please.
Okay.
Lift your feet. How's your feeling now?
I don't really feel better. A little nauseous.
Okay, we're gonna have to bring out the big guns. I learned the most amazing procedure from my guru this weekend called a spiritual bypass. We're just gonna go right around all these feelings to get straight to the feeling better part. So, if you will bend your knees, open all your chakras, nurse the tones, please. We're gonna fluff up your aura.
No! Spiritual bypass? Spiritual bypass? You want to go around the feelings? You can't go around the feelings. That's what makes us human. No, it's okay. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. There are some horrible things going on in the world. Donald Trump is our president. No. They're putting a pipeline in. They're poisoning our water. They're poisoning our air. I have a daughter. If we don't feel this, if we don't get angry, nothing's gonna change. I have to feel this. I need connection. I need support. I need you. I need you. Let's face it, I'm a racist. Been living in a bubble of comfortability, reading headlines of bombings that don't really affect me, at least not immediately. But I keep my feet on the ground and my head down. Silent devastation so loud I can't listen, just keep going to work and feeding the system. But I know I'm mistaken, because I'm feeling the weight of the whole human race, and I'm done saying that the suffering of others is not mine. That's a lie. That's fear speaking softly, snake in my mind. That's the silent caress of greed at my side. It's time to decolonize the mind. It's time. It's been ages since we recognized the phases of the moon and seasons, since human beings lived with heart and reason beating strong. Ages since the earth spoke to us in song. Before the rules of logic assumed that the fruits of the mother couldn't be ruined. It's been ages since the story was told. Was it ever told that this land was stole? That there were tribes who lived and died by these waters? There were children and elders and mothers and fathers. That at these springs the Bear Spirit beckoned all who arrived to lay down their weapons and reconcile. This was that place in the days of old. But I wonder the last time this story was told. Do we remember without laying blame those who came to claim this land? Do we understand what happened to the people here? Talking about violence. Talking about silence. Children taken to boarding schools where white men made up new rules set to undo the divine connection, the rejection of tradition, remaking people for mechanization. Children raped and killed. Papers signed, pockets filled, changing spirit into fear, while the people they learned to revere money, and it cast its shadow spell. Slowly the people, they became unwell. Today I heard a story. A woman from the Klamath tribe whose grandmother rejects the songs. Her grandmother tells her that the Wicked Lodge is for witches, not for God. A Klamath woman who sees her men with no reservation fight and steal in desperation, with sickness in their heart, drink their pain and come apart. Families live in shame and poverty, and I ask you, do we retain the memory of these people, of this land? My friends, do we understand the history that went untold, the history buried long ago? Let's face it, I'm a racist. Most of the time, I don't mind. I stay complacent, stay confined to my world, to my life. Until I listen to a story. Really listen to a story. Let it change me. Begin to recognize truth. That woman's story, that wasn't the end. It just begins. A woman from the Klamath tribe, living in a wounded community, discovers her immunity in prayer. She relearns the songs, rises strong, teaches her children, wears her skin and her tradition proud. This is resilience. This is defiance. This is life wearing us down, breaking us open so we can be found, so we can be new still, so we can forgive and be forgiven. This is our potential, renewed and filled.
Awarenesses that we're wanting to let go of, whether it's individually or collectively. So this evening tonight is a ceremonial performance, a ceremonial ritual. and we have our lovely children helping us to focus. And so this is a really awesome opportunity to hone our focus. And also to be intergenerational. Just take a moment and look around at all the different representatives of all the different generations that are with us. Our dear priestess Grail, just coming back from her travels, one of the things that, if I may refer to it, that brought so many tears to her eyes was how our elders are so separated from our culture. And so the point of a performance like this and for social artistry and Storybridge is to begin to weave together the generations, to begin to intermingle and to tell each other's stories. And in that way, we're receiving and practicing compassion. The stories that you saw tonight and the stories that you will see came from the actual members of this class. And whether they were speaking their own lines or whether they were speaking about another person in the class's story, this is an opportunity to try on each other's stories and to let them evolve into what you've seen so far. So now the label game. You each have, some of you have labels on your heads, and so I want to give you all just a couple minutes to kind of mingle amongst yourselves and just notice if you start to get an idea of what your label might say as you turn around and introduce yourself to your community members to the right and to the left of you. And here we have a fire. And this will be an opportunity in just a moment to burn your labels. So I'm going to just give you 2 minutes or so, talk amongst yourselves.
Hi.
We only have these.
I don't think we're allowed to burn those.
Do you mind if I squeeze down Hannah? I should try to get down here.
Oh, please. I tell you what.
Thank you.
Very interesting. I've gotten a lot of interaction about it. Yes, we're doing it.
If you can hear me, say hey! Okay, so does anybody? So the idea with that, if you can hear me thing, is that there's flying actors. Let's try it again. If you can hear me, say whoop whoop whoop. Okay, awesome. So is there anybody in the audience who wants to stand up or sit down or introduce yourself and make a guess about what your label might say based on what social experiment you've been taking part of here? So does anyone want to guess? Yeah?
Stupid.
What makes you say that?
Because people told me they didn't want to hear what I had to say. They told me I didn't know what I was talking about.
Did everyone hear that?
Stupid. No.
Her guess is that maybe her label says stupid because people were kind of
dismissive.
They were kind of dismissive of what she had to say. Do you want to take a moment and look? See?
Idiot.
It says idiot. Okay. Would you like to come down to the fire and give it to the fire? So this is an opportunity. When we break for intermission, everyone will have a chance to come and give your label to the fire. It's kind of big and bold, so be careful. Honoring the fire. Thank you. Releasing. Okay, so we're releasing these labels that we have on ourselves and on each other. And does anybody else want to guess? Do you want to guess?
It seems like an old generation of some sort. Maybe a hippie. It seems like somebody said I was surrounded by them.
Good guess.
Give Vinny a hand.
I could be responsible, but I am a hippie,
So, even labels that we might like sometimes can limit our ability to function in the world, or our ability to be received, or our ability to get things done. So even labels that we might relish in having can sometimes limit things and label us in that way. We are so much vaster and bigger than any label. Nothing can contain us. Does anyone else want to guess? Oh, in here.
I read it. Hi, I'm Voodoo Annie.
Welcome.
Mine says sexy, and everybody was laughing and giving me a hard time. And, you know, it's really great. You know, everybody wants to feel attractive, but I'm multidimensional, and I'm really a powerful woman. So, I'll put this in the fire.
That too.
Anybody else want to guess? Yeah.
All right. I've been kind of pressured into it.
Okay.
So, should I stand up?
I'll be a human microphone for him. Yeah. Can you speak up and then I'll also repeat.
What's that? I have no idea what it says.
But you had a guess. What was the guess?
So, I ran into somebody over there in the shop earlier, and I was getting something to eat, and it made me wonder because like everyone kind of treated me like with a lot of honor and respect, like in this weird way, like.
Okay.
But like.
Can you pause right there? So everybody treated him with a lot of honor and respect when he was in the cafe with this label.
Well, like just like going from here to there.
From here to there. Respect.
So what was your guess? What did you think it was?
Well, this woman like mentioned tyrant. I was like, that's odd. Like, why would that happen?
Okay, so someone mentioned, so trying to give you a guess, kind of like a hint.
And it
Tyrant. So there's the equation of another word with a label. Is tyrant equated with our elders?
See, I didn't actually know what the word was.
What do you think it is? What is it? Look at your label.
I knew I
thought it was.
You thought it was what?
Well, then I saw my label on someone else.
Oh. Look at your
What
label.
I thought, like,
Look at your label.
elder.
Elder, yeah. Okay.
What did you think it was?
You thought it was
I thought it was an odd, like. I didn't know. I thought it was someone of honor, like, but I couldn't tell who. I just couldn't figure it out, like who would.
Yeah.
What position of honor
Are
you?
you gonna come down here? Would you like to burn that label in the fire? So even the label elder keeps us apart from each other. Recently I've been working with the Ashland High School with the youth, and they're wanting this wellness center to be youth-led. And so in that way, there's a label already right there, youth and adult, or youth and sometimes it can really block our ability to work together. Sometimes it's important to acknowledge these labels, and also sometimes it's important to give them up to the fire so that we can all connect as one tribe. Anybody else want to make a guess?
I will.
Yeah?
Is it enlightened?
Would you stand up and introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're from?
Hi, I'm Ravenna. I'm from England.
From Avalon.
Why do you think it might be enlightened?
A lot of people have been like bowing or praying and like telling me that it's a really good label or that I've reached a higher state.
Would you like to look at your... There's hair. I'm sorry. Can you see it? Is it possible that this could limit your ability
Oh,
to...
totally. Because if everyone's coming up to you and just like treating you with the utmost respect, where's like the opportunity to make mistakes? If you can't make a mistake, then you're not.
Did everybody hear that? Everybody's always coming up to you and having you, up on a pedestal. You can't make mistakes if you have that label. And so, want to release it? So we'll keep the fire going unless there's one more person who wants to guess their label. Anybody else? Okay. Oh.
I have no idea what it says, but everyone has been kind of weird to me. I'm really terrible to them, and I feel like it's selfish because I just don't care about anybody else, and I'm just so in fear that I can't see other people. So I think it's selfish, but I can't think of another word.
Real quick before you look, so she said the reaction she was getting from people were putting her in such a state of fear that she actually couldn't see the other people that were communicating with her. It was actually affecting her ability to communicate.
Okay. Racist.
Her label says racist. Racist. Do you want to bring that? Okay, so the last thing we'll do before we break for intermission is we're going to sing a song, and it goes... Give it up to Kali, give it up to Kali, give it up to Kali, give it up. Give it up to Kali, give it up to Kali, give it up to Kali, give it up. Listen, purify me with your holy flame. Purify me with your holy flame. Give it up to Kali, give it up to Kali, give it up. Kali, give it up. Give it up to Kali, give it up to Kali, give it up to Kali, give it up. Purify me with your holy flame. Purify me with your holy flame. Yay! The Feast of Beltane is a Celtic feast, and it's a feast of the fires. And this class started on Imbolc, which is the Feast of Bridget. Where's Bridget? There's Bridget! And so here on this land that belonged to the native people and that now holds these Celtic traditions, this show tonight, Womb of Light, is a ceremonial performance meant to bridge, meant to unify, meant to heal. And it's intentionally here on the Beltane, this festival of Beltane fires, that were originally the smoke was to purify the crops and to purify the people spiritually, to release anything that could affect the crops. For instance, if we have resentments against each other, it's really hard to get in the garden and work together sometimes and do the things that need to benefit the whole tribe, the whole community. So thank you for coming to the show tonight. This is the end of the first act, and we'll have a brief intermission, and then we'll call you back in about 5 minutes. Okay, so it's pretty short and sweet. Then the next act is about 45 minutes long, and then we'll have some time for question and answers. Okay, so thank you very much. Give yourselves a hand.